On the 1st of March 1975, Kenya experienced its first portion of a bomb blast. An OTC pass that was set to leave Nairobi to Mombasa was bombed, killing 27 people aboard. One could wonder, was this an ordinary bomb or a targeted political assassination? In this episode, I'll take you through the last minutes and days of a Mau Mau defender and a statesman, Josiah Mwangi Kariuki. Stay tuned and let's have this discussion raw and real. Among the people who are least celebrated in Kenya's history is Josiah Mwangi Kariuki, or JM Kariuki, a statesman who was assassinated in 1975. However, before I tell you the last days leading to Josiah Mwangi's assassination, it is important that I give you a background information about Josiah Mwangi Kariuki. Josiah Mwangi Kariuki was actually among the Mau Mau fighters, only that most of the time he fought his war in the urban centers. Majorly, he acted as a liaison fighter, informing the fighters in the forest what was happening in the ground, giving them information, and even helping them in terms of getting weapons, etc. In 1953, 1 year after the state of emergency was declared in Kenya, Josiah Mwangi actually was arrested and jailed. He was only released in 1960. 7 years later. Now, when Kenya gained independence in 1963, Josiah Mwangi had an opportunity or a chance to serve in the first Kenyan government under President Jomo Kenyatta as the founding president of this republic. And as history has it, Mzee Jomo Kenyatta was not pro-Mau Mau activities or pro-Mau Mau group. And that's why throughout his tenure and the tenure of his successor, President Moi, Mau Mau remained a banned group until 2003 when the ban was actually lifted. Now, when Josiah Mwangi got into the government, he gained a lot of popularity. One could wonder, why did Josiah Mwangi Kariuki gain a lot of popularity among the people and among the Kenyans? One thing about Josiah Mwangi is that he really advocated for the recognition of the Mau Mau fighters. And he always questioned why we had very few people in the government having, a lot of resources, while millions of Kenyans were languishing in poverty. Specifically, the Mau Mau fighters who had left the forest were very poor and had nothing on their plates. But the people who did not even fight for this independence actually were enjoying government positions and even public resources. He is known as one of those statesmen in the country saying, we cannot have a country with 10 millionaires and 10 million beggars, implying the state of the situation in the country at that particular time in terms of, the rich versus the poor. However, it's very important to note that Josiah's, preaching and criticism of the status quo at that particular time did not sit well with the regime and also with the president. So a lot of meetings were held in State House with regard on how to silence Josiah Mwangi Kariuki, because the things Josiah Mwangi Kariuki was saying actually were actually portraying the government as bad. And for him, despite the fact that he was in this particular government, he did not actually put a much about, embezzling resources and so forth. He thought that actually independence had been achieved and it was time that now every Kenyan celebrated from that particular independence, something that did not actually happen. Now, the year is 1975. The month is February. I can't exactly tell the date. And Josiah Kariuki Mwangi is a member of parliament of Nyandarua North. And with him is Maki Muthaiga, the MP of Nakuru. And the two are in Nakuru town in a certain hotel. And they are playing darts, And then Josiah and Maki were very, very close friends. So Josiah has come from Nyandarua and is with Maki in Nakuru. They are playing that. And as they were doing that, two men walks into the hotel and directly they go to J.M. Kariuki. Who are those two men? I cannot tell the name of the other guy, but one of the guys is Imburu Gachua, the mayor of Nakuru County, in Nakuru town then. And he comes to Josiah Mwangi Kariuki, warns him that he has heard about his criticism and is not welcome in Nakuru. If he tries to bring the criticism that is criticizing the government to Nakuru, he will be dealt with. So the warning that Mboro, the mayor of Nakuru town, gives Josiah at that particular time actually sounds serious, because Josiah Mwangi then is really shivers, you know, is trembling, and he tells his friend Mark that this warning is not just a warning. This is a true promise, because I have been informed that meetings are being held in other offices concerning my preaching and my questioning of the government in relation to allocation of resources to the poor in this particular country. He even tells Mark that actually several days ago, Godfrey Githai Kariuki, that is Gigi Kariuki, who was the then minister of assistant minister for lands and settlement, had told him that the regime was not happy actually with what actually was preaching in terms of resources, in terms of Mau and recognition of these fighters in the country, and that he needed to find time and make peace with the president. So, you know, at that particular time, Josiah Mwangi is like, okay, I really need to meet the president, because as things are, I may be living on borrowed time. So he calls his friend Nchenga Karume, who was also an assistant minister in Kenyatta's government at that particular time, to book appointment to meet the president and tell the president, me, I'm not about, you know, overthrowing your government, but, you know, I'm just only saying things the way they are. I don't have any problem with you. But before the appointment happens, Josiah Mwangi Kariuki had a problem with his legs. And the doctor tells him, you know, this your leg is a result of, you know, there's so many beatings you got during the Mau Mau War. And sometimes when you go to a cold environment, pain is likely to come back. And therefore, I could recommend you go for a vacation in a warmer place to see its progress. And out of that recommendation, Josiah Mwangi Kariuki, then he decides, I can go to the coastal part of Kenya because it's warmer. Remember, Nyandarua is cold. And it's like, yeah, you may be having a point, Daktari. And, you know, he decides to book a ticket to Mombasa. So, on the, he moves to OTC and he books a ticket of a pass to Mombasa, and his pass is set to leave to the coast part of Kenya on the 1st of March 1975. So the last day of February, J.M. Kariuki books a ticket and is supposed to travel the following day, that is on the 1st of March 1975, to the coast. So he goes back to his house, but he receives a phone call that tells him, you know what, the special branch officers have been actually following you the whole day, and they are aware that you have booked a ticket to Mombasa and that you are traveling tomorrow. If I were you, I could actually abort the trip. So at this particular time, Josiah Mwangi is like, wow, it's true that actually I'm really wanted. And it says to abort the trip. So he doesn't travel. But he's also so much concerned that actually now is really a wanted man by the government, because when the special branch officers are looking for you, the special branch officers at that particular time is like the current National Intelligence Service people, etc. As fate could have it, on the 1st of March 1975, the same pass that Josiah Mwangi Kariuki was supposed to travel with to Mombasa is pumped, killing 27 people on board. All of them died. So if Josiah Mwangi could have been in this pass, he could have died. Now, with this, Josiah Mwangi is like, I'm on borrowed time. So on the 2nd of March, he receives a phone call from the GSU commandant, Penny Gethi, who summons him and tells him that the special branch officers demands for a meeting to interrogate him on some of the things that he's been preaching in the country. So Kariuki is very reluctant concerning this meeting, the special branch officers. It's like, you people, you know, the pass that I was supposed to travel on has been pumped, and I was informed already that the special branch officers had seen me book this particular pass. The other day, the mayor Nakuru County actually, the mayor Nakuru City actually warned me. And to make even matters worse, the DC Nakuru had, Joseph Thuo had actually taken away Josiah Mwangi's pistol. So it was a disarmed person, it was a person under threat, and it was a person on borrowed time, and here is the special branch officers that actually are looking for him for interrogation. So he tells Penny Gethi, no, I'm not going. Then Penny Gethi, being a childhood friend, tells him, okay, don't worry, if it's about you want to feel safe, I will take you. I will be there in the meeting, I will take you there, and I will sit there until the interrogation is done. And secondly, if it's about the pistol, I can lend you my TSU pistol. But please, don't do anything stupid with it, because it will land me in trouble. So Penny Gethi gives Josiah Mwangi Kariuki his TSU pistol, and he escorts him to the special branch offices. By then, it was called Nyat House. Today is the Kingsway headquarters. So that's where actually the special branch headquarters were. Nowadays called the Kingsway House. So at the Nyat House, Penny Gethi sits at the entrance, and TM Kariuki proceeds to meet the special branch officers. The interrogation starts on a wood note, but it becomes heated because these special branch officers, most of them are people who are given jobs because of their relationship, their loyalty to the president, and they didn't have much, you know, training by then in terms of even human rights. And one of the officers in the group, or the special branch officers, called Wanyoike Thuku, actually slaps TM Kariuki. And TM Kariuki is like, oh, you called me guys here for interrogation, and now you are repeating me. So he felt he's under attack, and he reaches out to get the pistol. Remember, this pistol was given by Penny Gethi, and it is a TSU pistol, and Penny Gethi told him not to use it because it would land him in trouble. So when Penny Gethi sees Josiah Mwangi Kariuki reaching out for the pistol, what does he do? It's like, I'm a dead person, I'm in trouble. He needs to disable Josiah Mwangi Kariuki from using that particular pistol. And what does he do? He reaches out for another gun that he had, and he shoots Josiah Mwangi on the upper arm, this side. So Josiah Mwangi's hand is snapped. He can't reach out for that pistol, but he's also a very confused man. You are the one who was supposed actually to give me protection, but you are the one shooting me. You know, at this particular time, it's not clear to say, to conclude, or to give a final conclusion on, was Penny Gethi actually acting out of the panic that his pistol could land him in trouble, or it was a planned thing, you know, that we would reach there and one will slap him and then you would shoot him. It cannot be fully told, because political assassinations are political assassinations, you know. So when Penny Gethi sees that he has disarmed Josiah Mwangi Kariuki, and you know, there's blood all over because he has actually shot him. It's like, this guy, if we leave him to go outside, they already is popular among the people, but if now he goes out with, you know, a harm that has been sought, a teeth that has been removed out of out of his lap, it will make more noise and it will be even more messy. So they decide to finish Josiah Mwangi Kariuki, and Penny Getty takes another shot on him, and Josiah Mwangi Kariuki is silenced. He dies there in the interrogation room. And now these people, you know, they have to organize on how to discard this body discreetly. They hijack a Kenya Meat Commission pickup, and they take this body to Ngong Forest. In those days, most of the political assassinations and most of the murders that took place in the earlier days of Ngong Forest, people of Kenya's independence, most of the bodies were dumped at Ngong Forest, because there they believed that the hyenas actually could help eat up the body and, you know, erase all the evidence that could be needed. And surprising, Josiah Mwangi's body was not eaten by the hyenas, but instead the Maasai herdsmen found the body, called the neighbors, and, you know, there was a lot of alarm. The body of Josiah Mwangi Kariuki has been found, but the government was so determined to conceal this, because while Josiah Mwangi has been reported that he's been found in Ngong Forest is dead, and the body has been taken to city mortuary, President Moi, the 10th Vice President and Minister of Home Affairs, was instructed to announce that Josiah Mwangi Kariuki was on a trip in Zambia. And all while this was happening, something fishy was happening. The members of parliament in Kenya, while they were discussing and trying to find a solution to the loss of Josiah Mwangi Kariuki, at the mortuary, something fishy was taking place. One, the members of parliament, first, before the members of parliament, the wife of Josiah Mwangi Kariuki goes to the city mortuary and recognizes the husband and says that actually this is Josiah Mwangi Kariuki, lives there and runs to parliament screaming that Josiah Mwangi Kariuki has been killed. The members of parliament, led by Mark, the friend to Josiah, and Grace Anyango and others, Sikuku, they ran to city mortuary to confirm this. Now, at the city mortuary, these members of parliament, specifically Grace Anyango, realizes that a special branch officer stationed at parliament was actually dressed as a mortuary attendant. And they signals the other members of parliament, you know, is this not so and so, the special branch officer at parliament, you know, and they even confronts him. And then they also realizes that outside the city mortuary, there was a group of hired mourners who were crying that they need their body to take it to Kisumu, Ugenya, you know. They were demanding, they were claiming that the body of Josiah Mwangi was their relative. And then they also realized that Josiah Mwangi's body had the teeth, the lower teeth had been removed. You know, it was culturally for Rose to remove 6 teeth of a person as a sign of initiation. And therefore they removed the lower teeth, you know, to make the narrative look like this is not Josiah Mwangi. Actually, it is somebody from Ruo Nyanza, and, you know, even the teeth have been removed. And then on his leg, they had a tag written, a Ruo gangster. So, you know, with all these things, it was clear that there was every effort to discreetly take away the body of Josiah Mwangi and discard it, such that the family and Kenyans will never know where actually Josiah Mwangi went. But it was too late, because the members of parliament by then were very vocal and they had seen, you know, what was happening. So after this, now that the members of parliament started saying, we see the government in every, you know, every step of Josiah Mwangi's dead, we need to find out who killed Josiah Mwangi. A commission of investigation or a commission of inquiry was set, and this commission was led by Elisha Mwangari. Now, when this commission was formed, the commission did a good job, and they came up with the names and the people who were involved in Josiah Mwangi's death. However, when this report was stapled before the executive, the executive was not happy, and the president of the time wasn't also happy about that, because most of the names actually that had been mentioned there were allies to the executive, and therefore this report had to be refined and doctored to fit the executive's wishes. Well, Elisha Mwangare came and presented that revised report on the day of actually unveiling the report. The likes of Maki Mithaga, the friend to Kariuki, decided to read the original copy of that particular report and tied the number of the people who had actually killed Josiah Mwangi in that particular report. He spoke the report as it was, and of course after that, reading that report, he was arrested and the rate alone released. But nothing much was done after that investigations about Josiah Mwangi Kariuki, and nothing much was written about Josiah Mwangi Kariuki in history. Not even a road was named after this great Mau Mau fighters defender and a statesman. And just like that, a statesman was shattered. That is the end of the end days and minutes of Josiah Mwangi Kariuki. It is the makers of Kenya's violent history. Your host, Kathleen. Kindly remember to subscribe, like, share, and comment on this video.